28th, 2025. Tonight we're going to be talking about the Canadian election. And we're going to be talking about the Paki-India dust-up potential war. Good news is, it seems that Eastern Europe is starting to get worked out, but there's still a lot of problems that are going on. So, we're going to look at it. We're going to figure it all out. And I guess we'll just have to hope for the best and prepare for the worst, right? It's kind of what you do when you're a prepper. So, all I can say is this. There's more conflict coming than there is getting resolved. And so because of that, it is imperative to keep on your game, to be doing all the things you need to be doing, to air quotes, do the things, and just, make sure that you are ahead of the game and knowing what's going on is part of the problem or part of the solution. And you get that here with the crisis report, which tabulate all day long. Let me come here sometime around 11:30, midnight, whatever, Eastern Standard Time, and we do the things. We talk about it. Some people wake up and get in the morning. Other people listen to this here. We put it out there and we let you decide for yourself. Crisis report is what I think is the most comprehensive news on YouTube. And you get about 30 minutes, you put your earbuds in and listen to what's going on, and then you know what's going on as you garden, work on your lawnmower, I don't know, take a walk, whatever. It's a great way to get it. That's why I do it. So I appreciate you. Thanks so much for being here. The cool kids know about all of these. That's right. That's where the cool kids go. So check us out over there. Growing ever so slowly, but it's working. Nice and organic. Bad Bobber, you're the best. Thanks for being here. Should we get started, folks? Let's get started. Thanks so much. Grit and Grace, good to see you. Sway, good to see you. Let's get going. Let's do it. Here it comes. Oh, wait. Bush. Yes, that's right. We've got Bush. All right, let's get started, folks. Thanks for being here on the old PrepperNow. Here we go. Excuse me, crisis report. I was on PrepperNow. If you haven't been over, I just did a video on PrepperNow. That went real well. So, like to have you over there. Russia says it's ready to talk to Ukraine without preconditions. Good. India says it signed a deal with France for 26 Rafale fighter jets. DHL is going to resume global shipments worth more than $800 from businesses to American consumers. Trump admin has put roughly 100 arrested immigrants' mugshots on the White House lawns. Creative. Putin has announced Ukraine ceasefire May 8th to the 10th. We were talking about that over on the old PrepperNow. Spain was hit by a massive blackout. Electricity network operator says. Portuguese power operator confirms outage has hit Portugal, Spain, and other parts of France. EU says it is in contact with Spain, Portugal, and understand the cause of the blackout. White House is going to name cities obstructing anti-immigration agendas, according to, I believe, Carolyn Levitt. Pakistan defense minister says military incursion by India is imminent. Covered that on PrepperNow. EU chief says at this point there are no indications that Spain blackout was a cyber attack. It's not saying it was a cyber attack, but it was immense. Impossible to say when the Portugal electricity will be restored. I don't think they're fully restored, but they are definitely on the way. Last I heard it was about 7 p.m. They're about 60 to 65%. Probably more than that now. I haven't looked in the last couple hours, but it was bad. It was very bad. Makes you want to prep. On the Iran situation, quote, I think we are doing very well. I think a deal is going to be made there. It is going to happen pretty soon. It is going to happen. We will have something without having to start dropping bombs all over the place. Amir Sarfati thinks they have fooled him. See? Iranian Tasnim news agency, Iran prevented one of the most extensive cyber attacks against the country's infrastructure today. Netanyahu says they have delayed Iran's nuclear program by 10 years. 10 years ago, they already thought they'd have a nuclear arsenal. We delayed them, but we didn't stop them, Israeli Prime Minister said. Over the past 24 hours, unknown individuals entered the grave complex of Hafez al-Assad, the father of former Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, in the city of al-Qardadah, opened his grave, took his body, unknown location. People are weird. Turkish sailors filming the U.S. strikes on the Houthis in Yemen said over 100 people were killed last night in one of the most strongest and widespread wave of strikes led by U.S. forces. I guess we're at war with the Houthis. U.S. military summarizes activity data. The latest wave of attacks on Yemen in mid-March, 69% increase. Ballistic missile launches by the Houthis. We've attacked 800 targets in Yemen since the start of the operation in mid-March. Hundreds of Houthi fighters have a large number of senior Houthi officials were eliminated. We attacked weapons production sites, control facilities, air defense systems, storage sites for advanced weapons, missiles to strike naval targets, drones, unmanned vessels, and more. Thanks to the attacks, the number of ballistic missile launches dropped by 69%. The number of drone launches dropped by 55%. Iran continues to assist the Houthis. We will continue to apply pressure on them. Attached video shows a visit by the commander of the U.S. Central Command, American aircraft carrier Carl Vinson, that's been attacked by the Houthis. Canadians voted today to choose between Liberal Prime Minister Mark Carney, former banker, Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, a career politician. Will Canada continue with the Liberal agenda or shift towards a Conservative approach to address its challenge and rebuild its prosperity? Stay tuned. We know the answer. God placed in his hands of humanity the choice between good and evil, life and death. And he said, choose life. Canadians, choose life. Vote Conservative. Vote Pierre. They did not. Some did. Iran's Supreme Leader Khomeini says it is the duty of security officials and judicial authorities to conduct a thorough investigation to detect any negligence or deliberate act and to prosecute them in accordance with the regulations. Of course, he's talking about Bandar Abbas. Saudi Arabia's foreign minister called Iran's foreign minister to express condolences for the Bandar Abbas tragedy. They discussed regional security, with Iran condemning Israeli actions in Gaza and the West Bank. Iran also updated Saudi Arabia on U.S. talks. Aerial footage shows fires still burning at Rajeh Port, Bandar Abbas on Monday, third day since a massive explosion rocked the site. After the devastating blast at the port of Bandar Abbas, Iranian MP Mohammad Sarraj blamed Israel and declared this incident was not an accident but a deliberate act of sabotage. Israel rejects proposal for a 5-year ceasefire in exchange for the release of all hostages. Why? It will keep Hamas in power and won't allow us to fight their regrouping for new attacks. President Trump calls on Canada to elect the man who has the strength and wisdom to cut your taxes in half. Increase your military power for free to the highest level in the world. Have your car, steel, aluminum, lumber, energy, and all other businesses quadruple in size with zero tariffs or taxes if Canada becomes the cherished 51st state. For the love of God, bro, will you stop with this friggin' 51st state crap? Please. It's not working. They don't want to be the 51st state. They want to be Canada. Let Canada be Canada. You got bigger problems. You want to go after Greenland? Okay, I get that. Canada is Canada. Leave Canada alone. Make them our friends. I bet you money we might have won the election tonight if you hadn't said that stupid stuff today. Even pinball is like, this is dumb. Come on. Conclave to choose the next pope will begin on May 7th, Vatican says. Madrid has activated status 2 of the territorial emergency plan in response to widespread power outages in Spain. Red Electrica says the power outage is exceptional and extraordinary and will take up to 10 hours to repair, although it does not clarify the issue. Madrid's community president asked the government to activate status 3 as to what Spanish military can guarantee order. I heard 30,000 officers were put onto the streets. Pakistan military incursion by India is imminent, Pakistani defense minister says. Both countries must refrain from using nuclear weapons in the event of a conventional armed conflict between them. Please don't nuke each other. Security forces located in the Pahalgam attackers at least 4 times in different spots over the past 5 days came very close to cornering them in the forest of South Kashmir, and on one such occasion, even exchange fire with them, Indian Express has learned. Indian Army has begun giving weapon training to the village defense guard made up of locals. China has called on both India and Pakistan to exercise restraint and welcome all measures that will help cool down the situation between both the countries, according to Reuters. Military incursion by India is imminent. Military presence has been reinforced on border, Pakistani defense minister says. Country on high alert will only use arsenal of nuclear weapons if there is a direct threat to their existence, Pakistani defense minister said. IDF says it has made its first operational use of new artillery weapon in the Gaza Strip. Bar rockets developed by Elbit were used by the 282nd Artillery Regiment to hit targets in southern Gaza amid the ongoing offensive against Hamas. Islamabad, 28th April. Pakistan's defense minister said on Monday the military incursion by neighboring India is imminent. Aftermath of the deadly militant attack tourists in Kashmir last week, tensions rose between the two nuclear-armed nations. Militant attack killed 26 people and triggered outrage in Hindu-majority India, along with calls for action against Muslim-majority Pakistan. India accuses Pakistan of backing militancy in Kashmir, a region both claim and have fought 2 wars over. Reuters Tariff Watch newsletter is your daily guide to the latest global trade and tariff news. We have reinforced our forces because it is something which is imminent now. So in the situation, some strategic decisions have to be taken. So those decisions have been taken. Defense Minister Khawaja Muhammad Asif told Reuters. Asif said India's rhetoric was ramping up and Pakistan's military had briefed the government on the possibility of an Indian attack. He did not go into further details on this reasons for thinking an incursion was imminent. Pakistan issues a NOTAM making certain air traffic routes between Lahore and Islamabad and unoperational through 28th to the 30th of April 2025. Pakistan High Commissioner in Dhaka briefs the Bangladeshi side about the developments following the Pahalgam terror attack. Used to be East Pakistan back in the day. As of now, both sides of the media saturated with old videos, false claims. Mainstream media is running with exuberant claims and fantasies. Most of this war is being fought on the information front, but we will see not to be getting into that mix. And when it starts, credible ones know. Stay safe online and know from this madness when it happens, you'll know. Thank you, Aquila. And PrepperNow. Pakistan armed Ukraine through Britain. India's shells showed up in Kursk. Now, after a terror attack, both countries are pulling back. Ukraine's ammo shortage is about to hit critical. 2019, post-India's airstrike, Pakistan disrupted New Delhi's narrative with a digital offensive. This time, Islamabad moved fast. It is saturating social media with curated military content and will likely secure the information battle space before any events unfold. So, already getting everybody primed up for the social media war. Pakistan's Minister of Defense, Khawaja Muhammad Asif, says that India is imminent. It's the fourth time we said it. Minister of Defense said, we have reinforced our forces because it is something which is imminent now. So in the situation, some strategic decisions have to be taken, and those decisions have been taken. American FA-18 Hornet jet fell off the USS Harry S. Truman aircraft carrier into the water while trying to land after a mission over Yemen. U.S. Army has confirmed pilot was not harmed. We just lost $60 million. From the preliminary investigation, it seems that the possibility of sabotage at Shahid Raji port is unlikely, governor said. Chairman of the Parliament's National Security and Foreign Policy Commission says, according to an official statement by the government, the contents of the containers in Shahid Raji port contain materials used in agriculture such as fertilizer. Currently, we can confirm that the importer statements did not match the location of the cargo, and the materials were likely stored in an incorrect place and manner. Houthi projectile was coming towards the USS Harry S. Truman, which forced the aircraft carrier to suddenly make a sharp turn, contributing to the fighter jet falling overboard into the water, according to U.S. officials to CNN. Pakistani Minister of Defense Khawaja Asif, clouds of war gathering over the region with tensions reaching alarming levels. War could potentially break out between India and Pakistan within the next 2 to 4 days. That is Pakistani outlet Sama TV. Remember, they are hyperbolic on their channels. CNN says the U.S. is unable to move into phase 2 of anti-Houthi operations due to the Yemenis' unexpected good air defenses. I don't know about that. It's CNN. They want them to not win. Virginia Jeffries' lawyer says there was troubling inconsistencies surrounding her client's death, noting they were in contact just days earlier, no signs of self-harm, and that police initially refused to confirm that she had died. White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt declared that the administration is prepared to arrest even Supreme Court justices if they are found harboring illegals. Senator Josh Hawley has reintroduced the Pelosi Act, aiming to ban members of Congress from trading stocks. President Trump is set to sign an executive order mandating that all truck drivers must speak English. After more than 50 hours, Iranian authorities announced the extinguishing of the fire at the port of Bandar Abbas in Iran. Iranian state TV reports death toll is now to 65. Ronan Barr said he's going to quit June 15th. Problem is he's already been fired. Air raid sirens in Moscow. That was happening. We can reaffirm our strong support for the Pakistani people and hope for a de-escalation of tensions between India and Pakistan. That is Erdogan of Turkey. Initial reports of a ceasefire violation in the line of control between India and Pakistan. Not good. China and Saudi Arabia are working to avert a war between India and Pakistan, Pakistani Defense Minister claims. Portuguese source to U.S. reports it, or to us, I guess, reports it witnessed gypsy gangs looting at least 3 supermarkets in the southern Portuguese city of Faro. U.S. is pressuring Greece to transfer its Patriot air defense systems to Ukraine and deploy a frigate against the Houthis. Houthi appointed governor of Sada province, Sheikh Mohammed Jaber Ahwad, has been eliminated in a U.S. Navy strike. Ukrainian missile strike targeted Russian oil depot. Ukrainian Neptune cruise missiles have struck a fuel depot at the Russian naval base in Novorossiysk, in southwestern Russia. Public message being spread by pro-military journalists says that given the growing tensions between Pakistan and India, prove that you are a responsible citizen, avoid taking and uploading photos or videos of any Pakistan army movement in your areas. It is your national duty to maintain the confidentiality of your armed forces. According to multiple reports, clashes along the Kashmir line of control between India and Pakistan are ongoing, making it the 5th consecutive night of fighting. Chinese regime's People Liberation Air Force, or PLAAF, Y-20 cargo aircraft departed Syeda Sharif Airport in Swat, northern Pakistan, 1 hour ago, currently en route to an unknown destination. Visuals of tonight's clashes between Pakistan and India in Lipa Valley, Kashmir. Heavy firearms, including artillery guns, being used by both sides. Military mobilization of all factions in Suwaida Governorate amid a sharp rise in sectarian tension across Syrian cities between the HTS regime and Druze community. Gangs affiliated with the ruling regime of Hayat al-Tahrir al-Sham, HTS, advancing towards the city of Suwaida in southern Syria, threatening violence against the Druze community and vowing to deliver justice over alleged insults directed at the Islamic prophet Muhammad. It happened just one day after the sectarian clashes happened at Homs University between the Druze and the Sunni students. Syrian Druze Brigade Party has issued a general mobilization of all Druze, repel aggression against the Jaramana. Michigan has announced it will begin gassing geese in June to control the state's growing population. Let's just let hunters take them out, man. I'll have roast goose. Back in the day, man, that was highfalutin food. Former First Lady Michelle Obama says she loses sleep at night over her fears of Trump's deportation policies. Well, you're legal. You don't have anything to worry about. India banned 16 Pakistani YouTube channels for spreading misinformation after the deadly Pahalgam attack. Killed 26, banned targets major outlets like Dawn News, ARY News, Geo News, and journalists like Irshad Bhatti and Asma Shirazi. Former cricketers Shoaib Akhtar and Basit Ali's YouTube channels were also blocked in India. Calls for new elections in Ukraine, once floated by Washington, have quietly been dropped to Europe's relief, though Russia may still push for it. United Kingdom has announced 101 million sterling support package for the Palestinian Authority. Fourth round of U.S.-Iran talks is expected to be held in Rome on Saturday, according to Axios. Macron pressured on Russia will be increased in the next 8 to 10 days in the context of achieving peace in Ukraine. Zelensky rejects Putin's May 9th ceasefire proposal, says we value lives, not parades. A real ceasefire must start immediately and last at least 30 days, not just pause killing for a few days. Tariff war. The port of Seattle looks unusually empty as container ships' arrivals and cargo volumes have dropped sharply. Ship movements to and from Seattle and Tacoma fell by 24 to 27% in April 2025 compared to the previous year. Decline is expected to worsen in May and June as canceled sailings from Asia continue. Americans are now being charged $89 in import fees for $64 worth of Temu. Z-Man says minerals agreement with the U.S. has become stronger and more equitable after negotiations. Good. Israel is losing the digital war, says Norm Coleman, chairman of the Republican Jewish Coalition and former U.S. Senator. USS Harry S. Truman aircraft carrier lost FA-18. This is an extremely serious incident for the U.S. Navy. It would mean hostile missiles or drones got past the carrier's layered defenses, fighters, Aegis ships, CIWS, showing potential gaps in U.S. naval protection. A group like the Houthis forcing a $13 billion carrier group into hard maneuvers would signal a major asymmetric threat to U.S. power projection. Such an incident would trigger a rethinking of how vulnerable carriers are to cheap massed threats. U.S.-Iran negotiations are likely to conclude with an agreement. Israel is awaiting the nature of the agreement and does not yet know whether it will meet its demands. That's according to the Jerusalem Post. J.D. Vance, Ukraine will not win the conflict with Russia if military actions continue in the coming years. But a scenario of nuclear escalation is possible, J.D. Vance on the Ukraine war stated. I think there is this weird idea in the mainstream media that if this goes on for a few more years, the Russians are going to collapse. Ukrainians are going to take back their country, our territory, and everything is going to go back to what it was before the war, but that's just not the reality. Pakistani Defense Minister Khawaja Asif says escalation between New Delhi and Islamabad is currently possible. He also said that Indian media, politicians, and the PM are creating an opportunity to vilify Pakistan, or are trying to use recent events to vilify the country without any evidence or proof. Indian Army says during the night of 28-29 April 2025, Pakistani Army resorted to unprovoked small arms firing across the line of control in areas opposite Kupwara and Baramulla districts, as well as the Akhnur sector. The Indian Army responded in a measured and effective manner to the provocation. In a defeat for Trump's foreign policy, because he keeps bringing up that stupid 51st state crap, Mark Carney's Liberals win enough seats in Canada's 45th federal election to form another Liberal government, but the popular vote narrowed between the two to 100,000. That's actually a lot. That's a big win for the Conservatives, but for the love of God, Trump, stop talking about Canada becoming America. It's dumb. All right, friends. Well, that's your Crisis Report for April 28th, 2025. Go on over to PrepperNow, where you can check out that video we did earlier about war being everywhere. And join us on the next one. Come on in. Become one of the cool kids like Winning Streak and be a member. Join us on Subscribestar and Locals, where I can show you all the crazy crap, like the new video that's come out about Carmelo Anthony, and really could be damning to what kind of a person he is. All kinds of stuff. Twitter, Minds, Gab, X, Truth Social. Join us over there as well. Join us everywhere. Join us on PrepperNow. Join us on Crisis Report. God bless you all. I hope you guys have a great night, and we will see you on the next one.